Business IT. I hope everybody's doing well. Um, Last week I was on vacation, but a friend of mine sent me a article that I thought was worth covering here. It showed up in law.com, and it really shows what's going on in the environment as far as cybersecurity is concerned. You know, a lot of firms, what motivates them to take action is the fear of government compliancy programs. And it really shouldn't be that. You really should be looking at your client's best interest. That should be what pushes you as far as doing what's best. And unfortunately, a law firm in Whippany, New Jersey, is now on the other end of a lawsuit. They're being sued by their clients. It's called the Wakes Law Group of Whippany. And what happened was they noticed back in March of this year that that there was some form of incident going on. And shortly after that, they were victims of a ransom attack. And basically, they were a six-person law firm, trusts and estates. You know, they're probably thinking weren't too small to be hacked. Not realistically a big target. Well, the actors, the threat guys, they came in and they took 100 records. That's it, 100 records. That's all. But those 100 records were the core of their client's business. And for a lot of businesses, having just 100 clients may not seem big in the whole scope of things. But for a small business, that can be your entire business. And so they took the 100 records. They took their social security numbers. They took their credit card numbers. They took their bank accounts. They took their driver's license information. Any of that information. Because, let's face it, attorneys are in a position of trust. And it's from that trust they were able to exfiltrate all 100 records. Again, not a big number when we hear about millions of records. Just 100 lousy records. But these 100 records caused two law firms to get involved because all of their clients decided to seek damages in a class action. And now they're suing this law firm. Because what the law firm did was they made what every big company does, which it says, hey, we're going to give you 12 months of monitoring. And maybe with a big company with a gaggle of attorneys that can go back for it, it may not make sense to go against them in a lawsuit. Maybe they're, unfortunately in the world that we live in, the more attorneys you have, can protect you and create some form of insulation from lawsuits. Unfortunately, it was a six-person firm. So, what this small group of 100 annoyed and frustrated clients went ahead and procured these attorneys, procured their new attorneys to sue the old attorneys for about $5 million in negligence, and they've got a case. I mean, I'm not an attorney. I know that there's different rules that have to come in there. But their point of the matter is that they didn't protect themselves, and what the firms are pointing out, the firms that are suing the Wakes Group are pointing out is, first of all, credit monitoring isn't enough because after 12 months, your social security number isn't going to change, your driver's license numbers aren't going to change, your identity is not going to change, and because of that, for the rest of their lives, these 100 people are always going to have to be taking actions to protect themselves, more so than other people, to be the potential victims of of identity theft. And so on top of that, as far as the protection, they've also said, hey, law firms, we already know there's about 20 big, high-profile. When we talk about big law, these firms have been attacked. You've been going in and taking educational classes on how to protect yourself as attorneys. There's now cybersecurity education that is now being required in New York State and other states as far as part of their CLE training, that they're required to take these courses. And so they should be going ahead and creating a reasonable cybersecurity policy. So let me just take a moment for that reasonable cybersecurity policy. If you ever study any of the compliance groups, whether it's NIST, whether you're a CPA and you're dealing with the PTIN numbers, you'll see in there, there's a section say, hey, did you take reasonable action? And now they're starting to put now they are starting to publish what reasonable action is. So what is that? Well, that can be anything from, part of that is making sure your employees are trained to recognize how a scam happens, making sure that you have proper filtering programs on your email, when you send out information, it's encrypted, having forms of monitoring on the systems. There's a number of things that are out there. They're not crazy, but they are they need to be implemented, and not everybody can implement them. Not even the people who think that who are IT people. Keep in mind the difference between an IT person and a cybersecurity is IT. If you looked at it, let's pretend it was a race car. The IT would be looking at how, changing the tires, making sure that the car's running right, rebuild the engine, things like that, the maintenance of the vehicle. The cybersecurity would be on, okay, what type of rubber are we using on the road? Is the driver properly trained? Are they drug tested? Have they gotten enough sleep before they got behind the wheel? What type of track conditions are we looking at here? They're more strategic, where the IT is more operational, and that's where a lot of companies fail as far as putting these programs in. They look at it from an operational point instead of a strategic point. So this is something that we do with our clients on a day-to-day basis. We help them move from just being inside of their business's IT to being, strategic with their IT, because with their cybersecurity, it really isn't the IT, it's the cybersecurity, and that includes policies and procedures and such. And by doing that, your company can proceed to can really get a position in the market. Because think about it. Think about these 100 people now, and the people who found out about these articles. Who are they going to want to do business with as far as their next trusted estate attorney? Are they going to be working with a guy who's John at yahoo.com, who doesn't care about their security? Or are they going to be looking for a firm that is taking up the responsibilities of making sure that their data is secure and is fully protected? So that's what we do here at A to Z Business IT. We help businesses there. Obviously, you can be sued for anything and everywhere, but at least if you have the plans in place and you can demonstrate those, you can really be more resilient to the possibilities of potential lawsuit due to a breach. So if you need some help, feel free to call us. The link will be here. We're at booking.a2zbusinessit.com, and I'll put the link below. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Talk to you later.